See?
Hi, everybody.
Mockingbird. I'm gonna buy... Okay, sorry. Anyway, welcome to the podcast of Doom, Spoilercast.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilercast.
All the spoilers! You guys are more spoiled than I was. I didn't really catch on to the spoils.
Yeah. Well, technically, you're the most spoiled because you had the least knowledge going in, right?
But it was for someone who does not read the books and didn't catch on to like the moment right before everything was going to happen. It was great. It was really surprising.
Well, as you can tell, we have Lady B joining us for the Spoilercast.
Hi again.
Episode 7, Mockingbird. As if you couldn't pick that up from Friar Dance singing. Thanks for that, by the way.
Oh, of course.
You should
Anytime.
You should also do a rendition of Eminem's Mockingbird.
I don't know.
Can
that
you
song.
rap?
I can, as well as a white boy can. And I guess Eminem's technically a white boy, but he's kind of clear more than he's white.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
I actually don't even know that song, so I can't sing it for you at all.
So, Game of Thrones.
Right, back on track. Game of Thrones.
Stuff happened this week.
Things and stuff happened this week.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff in there.
I guess we'll start with everybody's favorite badass, Tyrion.
Tyrion!
He's suffering the repercussions of his outburst.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And trying to find a champion to fight for him has been...
Trying?
He's been trying, yeah.
Difficult. Jamie won't do it because he's got only one hand and he doesn't want to fight the mountain.
Who would want to fight the mountain? You saw that guy.
Yeah.
Who was just killing people left and right. Like it was nothing.
BTW, the mountain is Cersei's champion.
So yeah, that was unexpected. I knew that they were calling him back to
King's Landing.
King's Landing. I'm horrible with names. I know they were calling him back to King's Landing, but I didn't know they were going to be her champion.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was going to be Samarin, and I was all with Tyrion there, like, yeah, you should die, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then I thought, Bronn would rush to his... No.
No.
That didn't happen.
No, Cersei found Bronn a love connection with a woman with a lot of money and a castle.
Who's 14 years old.
Woo!
Yay, medieval times.
or living in Asia. Yay.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? That too.
It's a bit more grim in the book, but we won't get into that here because that's book stuff, not TV stuff.
Right.
But it's even worse in the book. Believe it or not.
I believe it.
Well, if I ever get that far in the series...
He did say he had to kill his bride's older sister.
Yeah, who was 40 and barren.
Right.
So it probably won't be that difficult. Not exactly many people will miss her.
She could fall off her horse,
Yeah.
Lots of accidents happen to maids.
Pretty ladies all the time.
It's a dangerous world out there, yo.
It really is, especially for pretty ladies, apparently.
But-
So Bronn refuses to fight for Tyrion.
Yeah, but he does it with a heavy heart.
Right.
He doesn't do it out of spite. He does it because he says, I like you, but I like myself more.
Right.
I almost cried at that part. Especially when Tyrion said... What did he say? when he was talking about how they had some good times together.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
How the reason he liked him anyways because he was an unconscious brute without a heart.
Yeah,
He
he's
was
That's why I liked you in the first place.
And they shook hands and had a little moment together. Bronn wearing fancy clothing.
Well, after that...
He cleans up nicely, doesn't he?
Danny was talking about how he's like, oh, well, if the mountain is, then I wonder who they're going to name... I thought you were talking about the Hound.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest. And then the more like the...
He's
the
like,
more
well, he's got one more
this
choice.
would be a cool time. This would be a cool time.
I didn't think that he wouldn't
together.
think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we kind of semi-spoiled it a few weeks back in our Spoilercast when I mentioned that the name of the 8th episode of the season is The Mountain versus the Viper.
Right. Didn't think about that.
And so, by the way, that's who volunteered to be Tyrion's champion was
Right.
Prince Oberyn of Dorne.
Which is
Yeah.
awesome.
He came down and gave an amazing little monologue about, the first time he met Cersei and Tyrion when he was a kid, and just his kind of relationship with the Lannisters, how it developed, and why he's volunteering. He's not doing it for Tyrion. He's doing it because it's an opportunity for him to get revenge. The first part of his revenge for his sister's death.
Right.
And you can also kind of see how his hatred for the Lannisters stemmed that far back to childhood, too. just how
Yeah.
evil of a bitch Cersei really is at that also.
And like you said, we went to visit him. He didn't like the weather. He didn't like the food. He didn't like their accents. Like, even as a kid, he didn't like anything about the Lannisters. And the feeling got worse over the years.
Right.
Yep.
So that was pretty amazing.
The feelings for the Lannisters can only get worse, especially where Cersei is concerned. And Tywin.
So we have we're gonna be seeing the grudge match of the century here with the Mountain versus Prince Oberyn, the Red Viper.
Right.
Which is
fantastic.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic.
Epicness.
And that's probably that's in 2 episodes?
I think it's the next one.
This
It's
is
the next
episode
one.
8?
Yeah.
So it will be the next episode.
Because I'm
okay.
pretty sure episode 9 is gonna be the War on the Wall.
Oh, yeah.
Which they also started kind of hinting at, where it's clear that Castle Black is not ready.
Right.
Not at all.
John is trying to prepare them, but basically out of personal spite and personal issues, nobody's listening to him. So he's trying to get them ready, but shit is not real enough for them to listen to him yet. So
I
that
hope they
sucks.
start listening to Jon Snow because he at least knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, the Seven Kingdoms kind of depend on it.
Yeah.
Because if the wildlings break through the wall, what's going to stop the White Walkers?
Right. That's the problem. That's not the wildlings they have to worry about. They've got enough of an army in Westeros, I think, to take on the wildlings. It's what's coming behind the wildlings.
Yeah.
That is the problem.
Yep.
What are the wildlings trying to get away from?
Right.
Yeah.
Why are they so determined?
What's
to come down
What's
south?
so awful that giants are fleeing from it?
Exactly.
Like giants with mammoths are running.
These people have no clue. Fuck you, Castle Black. Fuck you hard.
Yeah, Alistair Thornton up there is like, "Rawr." Like I can't really pick out like a character, like another fictional character. He's just such a fucking asshole.
He's a
He
twat.
really is.
He's a bona fide twat.
He's kind of like Severus Snape is to Harry Potter, but meaner.
Yeah,
Because Severus Snape actually had good intentions, but Alistair is just out to get Jon Snow just to get him.
and it stems all the way back from season 1 when Jon shows up and he's like trained in swords and he's beating up everybody else, but then he starts trying to help them, and it's like. It's weird. It's like a 50-year-old man holding a grudge against like a teenager,
Right.
Yeah.
like this badly.
It's very
It's
immature.
It's kind of like, okay, dude, we understand life didn't go the way you wanted to because you're here, but
He's kind of like the Joffrey at the wall, without the killing.
Joffrey's
Yeah.
the wall.
Without
Joffrey
the
at the wall.
killing.
yeah, he's incompetent like Joffrey.
Yeah.
He's bitter like Joffrey, but he doesn't have any real power. So that's the only reason it's not as bad.
He just has
Right.
power at the wall.
Well, he's like there isn't like a leader right now after the bear was killed at Craster's Keep.
Right.
He's like the next senior most person, but he's not the commander. The brothers vote. It's a democracy up there. So after this whole thing with the wildlings, they might actually have a minute to breathe and elect a new leader.
Let's cross our fingers. It's not Alistair.
Yeah.
Well, I think Alistair kind of has sway over all the first brothers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's kind of like the leader now-ish, but not
Well,
really.
It's not even that. He just has a really small group of cronies that kind of, all support each other. Slint is one of them. We saw the first builder looked like he was one of the cronies.
Right.
Like, the right people are together, but they don't represent the body.
Well, the first builder guy, he looked like he could have been on Jon Snow's side for a minute, and then Alistair just glared at him down into submission. He's like, "Oh no, we shouldn't block the tunnel."
We shouldn't block the tunnel.
Even though I really think this is what we should do because it's a smart fucking idea.
Yeah, we know Maester Aemon is on Jon's side more than Thorne's,
Of course.
but it's hard to. It's hard to speak for him to like take sides because he wants to be neutral, being a maester and all. Kind of the idea is not to really get into politics. We've seen what happens in King's Landing with maesters and politics.
Yeah. Yes,
So,
we have.
They get their dicks
You know.
cut off.
He's the good version of that. He's staying above it all, even though he clearly agrees with Jon more than he disagrees.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't help Jon much.
No, it doesn't.
And now Jon and Samwell get to do their night watch, the night shifts on the top of the wall
Until
every
the
night
new moon,
until the
yeah.
full moon, because that's when he said the wildlings will get to the wall. So it's like, oh, okay.
Cool. I'm gonna be the one to sound the alarm.
Yeah.
Great.
But hey, you're at the top of the wall. You'll probably be the last one to get killed.
True.
This is true. Well, at least Sam is in a lucky place because we all know Sam can't fight with shit.
Yeah.
So, at least we know he won't die.
We wish he.
At least immediately.
We hope he won't die. This show, everybody dies on this show.
Anybody can die at any point.
Even the Hound isn't immortal.
No, he's not. We saw that today.
Yeah, we saw the return of, was it Biter, and the other guy was like Rask or Rash or something.
I think it was
something like that.
Some dumb,
it was Rask.
Some dumb shitty name. It didn't matter because he got stabbed immediately, which was hilarious.
Oh God, Arya. Arya's turning into such a little badass. I love her to pieces.
She's a quick learner, right?
She really is.
The Hound, put that farmer out of his misery by stabbing him in the heart. He's like, that's where the heart is. And then she turns around a minute later and stabs the other guy in the heart.
Right.
Is that your British accent?
No.
That's where the heart is.
I'm sorry, distractions. Okay, let's continue this conversation. It was really cool. Arya just brandished her sword and after she learned his name and just stabbed him right in the heart.
Well, the Hound's
beautiful.
like, is he on your list? He can't be. I don't know his name.
What's your name?
Yeah, the Hound, what's your name? And the fucking idiot tells him. He's like, don't you see where this is going, man?
This is not good for you. She may be a girl, but she's a deadly girl.
But the Biter did take a piece of the Hound down.
Yeah, the Biter.
Right on his neck. He bit
jumped on his back, bit him in the neck, and then got flipped over and neck broken.
Yeah, in one move.
In one move.
It's actually the coolest neck break I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
so I was
like a snapmare
wow.
neck break.
It was almost cooler than the sword going through that one guy's mouth.
That freaks me out
almost
so much. I just think of the sword hitting the teeth, and it makes me just...
I viewed it as like a tongue, like a serpent. I'm like...
Swords are big. Mouths aren't.
We're on the wrong episode.
But later on, we see Hound and Arya the Hound almost lets all of his defenses down finally, as he's telling her, what happened, how he got burned, and how it made him feel. And that's the one thing we always heard we'd heard the story in season 1 from Sansa, hearing it from Littlefinger, but we never heard it from the Hound and seen how he felt about it.
How it affected him.
And it wasn't that, the pain and the smell, which were bad, but it was the fact that it was his brother and then that his father covered it up and never did anything about it.
Right.
It kind of made it more personable, and I think Arya kind of saw him as a human being because she came over and helped him.
Yeah, she started stitching him up. She wanted to cauterize the wound so it wouldn't get infected.
No fire!
Yeah. he wasn't having none of that fire stuff.
Yeah, no fire.
I don't blame him, though. That's a very... Things that happen to you when you're a child that are traumatizing your entire life.
Yep. And unfortunately for B, her favorite ship got kind of sunk today.
Oh, my heart! Jorah! It's not my favorite ship because of course I ship Jon Snow and Daenerys, even though they're nowhere near related in the book. But Jorah and Daenerys are a close second, and oh my god, I was so sad to see. What happened was, people out there, Dario Naharis is a bitch, and he came over wanting to fuck Daenerys, and he got his way, and Daenerys is all like, yeah, I'm gonna get that dick. And she got that dick. And then it comes back later, and Dario is leaving, buttoning his shirt, and poor Jorah is just coming along to see her in the, early hours in the morning, and Dario goes, oh, well, you're early, and he's like, I don't remember what he said, but he looked so heartbroken.
You're here early, but not as late as some.
Yeah, he's like later than some.
It was so awful. And then Dario had the nerve to sit there. Don't stop looking at me like that. He had the nerve to sit there and be like, "Oh, you can talk to her now. She's in a good mood." What the fuck, Dario? So anyhow, I was really upset, but it turned out to be a nice moment between Jorah and Daenerys because he ended up telling her and advising her in the right way how to best deal with the slaves.
Oh, the masters.
The masters from, what was it?
Yunkai.
Yes, Yunkai.
Yeah. But she's sending the second sons, all of them, to retake Yunkai from whoever the masters have retaken the city and re-enslaved them.
The old masters.
Yeah, the slaves. And Jorah convinced her, rather than killing all the masters, to offer them a chance to join her or die.
Or die. So,
but because he used the example of himself that he was caught selling slaves, and that
Ned Stark.
and if Ned Stark had done what she did, he would not have been there to ever help her or advise her. So that really kind of, I think, brought it home for her that, these people could be future Jorahs for other, that she shouldn't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Right.
I thought that was a very mature decision of her to make.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy Jorah was there to guide her along.
Maybe just getting a little bit of that Dario D helped clear her mind up a little, settle her down.
The Dario D.
Settle down her fiery Targaryen tempers.
He put out the flames, if you will, for a little while.
Wink.
But
I just thought if we didn't start the fire because you said that.
Hey, we also got to see some Dario B, so...
Oh yeah, more Game of Butts.
You didn't mind that part. I love the part she's sitting. I'm gonna put the picture up right now. She's sitting there holding a goblet of wine, just kind of staring at his D, with this study look, it's good to be the queen.
I'm gonna like this dick.
Yeah, she's like, this is a good day.
Oh God, it just made me so angry.
It wasn't such a good day for Lysa.
Oh no.
No, it was not.
But Lysa just had it coming. She looks like a bird. She's annoying like a bird.
Well, she does live. She does live in the Eyrie, so it makes sense that she'd be a bird.
And she does get to fly. Pound it. Anyway.
I think it's funny that Robin talks about how he wants to make everyone fly, but his poor lady mother has to fly first.
Yeah.
But,
you can't trust Peter Baelish, even if you're married to him.
No, you cannot.
Also, don't step on Sansa's castles.
Yes.
Yeah, do not step on her snow castles.
She slapped the shit out of that kid.
See, I want to know what's going to happen with him. Because he is the lord of the Eyrie, but not until he comes of age.
Yeah.
And, Peter's not going to give that up.
No.
So he's not going to make it of age. I can almost guarantee that.
Unless Peter thinks he can basically make him into a supplicant to the throne, which is kind of what he was sent there to do. So now that he's the Lord Regent, since Lady Lysa is no longer with us because he threw her out the moon door because she was going to kill Sansa.
We didn't mention that yet.
We should probably set that all up.
So hey, this is what really happened in reverse.
Yeah. So, starting from the beginning, Sansa built a snow castle of Winterfell. Robin fucked it up. She slapped Robin after he threw a tantrum because they got into a fight over it.
He's a little bitch.
And then Peter came in and then said, "You did the right thing." She asked why you killed Joffrey. He told her that it was because he loved Catelyn and he'd do anything to avenge the people that hurt people he loves. Mm-hmm. And then he kisses Sansa.
He had a nice little smile moment, and then he ruined it.
He fucking makes
by kissing her.
It's all of it. Her Lysa sees it. She flips out, and then she grabs Sansa, and she's about to throw out the moon door. Peter stops her, and then says, "I'll send Sansa away if you let her go." So she lets her go. Peter walks over, hugs her, calls Lysa his silly little wife, and then pushes her out the moon door.
Tells her that I've only ever loved one woman in my life.
Oh, that was the best part.
Your sister.
And then push her out the eyes. You saw her face just fall like, huh, and then she just, bam! It was great.
And this season has really got a fucking body count on it. Yeah. I'm gonna after the season's over, our last Spoilercast, I'm gonna tally up how many reoccurring characters, not one-time soldier type characters, but reoccurring characters they've axed this season.
We should just take bets on who's gonna make it out alive. You're not allowed to vote.
Yeah, I was about to say
I'm not allowed to vote either.
Damn it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take votes on who's gonna make it out alive.
Danny got spoiled, unfortunately.
It got spoiled for me, after last Monday. It got another death got spoiled for me.
That's going to happen this season.
Yeah, don't tell me.
I won't.
I gotta be surprised. Todd says, "Isn't it fun having spoilers?" Not in that voice, of course. Isn't it
fun having spoilers? It was that voice.
Yep, it was exactly like that. But I told him it was fun being surprised.
It is.
It definitely
I like being surprised.
I've said many times this season, this show has surprised me because it's changed stuff.
It's fun.
Like when we got to see the fucking crazy palace of the White Walkers.
Right.
That shit was totally unexpected.
That was so cool. I wasn't here for that Spoilercast,
but it was still so cool.
It was so awesome.
But no, it's really fun to be surprised by things. And it's really fun to put things together while it's happening.
Yeah. The Lysa death Danny put together right as that scene started happening.
I get what's going on.
And I looked over and I'm we're trying to communicate without words to spoil for me. And I'm like,
I didn't
I'm
put it
doing
together.
complicated hand gestures.
I wasn't even looking at you guys. Like, you guys probably could have had, like, a little cute little whisper thing going
I was, like,
on.
making, like, the L symbol with my hand and, like, pointing down. And he's nodding. We were, like, doing baseball signals.
That makes sense.
Oh, wow, you guys were all into it, man.
Yeah,
I'll teach you sign language.
No, it's okay. I'd rather just be a goofball.
That's all
I
sign
know
language.
a little sign language. You guys couldn't see that, but I was actually signing.
I'm doing a very vigorous sign right now.
Oh, it looks like you're milking a cow.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
But the wrong way.
That's exactly what was happening there.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I think it's about everything that happened in this
Yeah,
episode.
we really ran through it, didn't we?
Melisandre.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot
And
about
her
that.
weird
Melisandre, yeah, her nipples are tiny and in the wrong place. I don't like it.
So we missed half of the scene just because Todd and I were talking about her boobs and how awkward they were, because they really are.
They totally are.
That is the most important part of the scene.
And then, basically the whole scene, she was talking about her, her powers, where they come from, that she uses, not just looking at the fire, but she uses a lot of potions and poisons and
So
stuff.
she's a fake.
No, but
she's not completely a fake. She just grandiosely ups her game.
Yeah, she enhances her she enhances her game with other stuff. But she's basically like an alchemist, but then she can also read the fire.
Right.
And she tells Stannis' wife, whose name I can't remember, she's not really that important.
Right.
Obviously.
That she doesn't need any of the chemicals or potions to read the fire like Melisandre needs it.
Right.
Because Melisandre, you keep in mind, she was born like basically an orphan that was bought and sold to be like a whore, and then she found the
God of Light.
the temple of Rolar, and then became a priestess. So she doesn't come from the same place. Stannis' wife was always a highborn, so
Right.
and it could be it was just flattery. It could be actual honest truth.
Right. We have to see where this is going.
Yeah, with Melisandre, you can never be sure.
Because she's a liar and a fake.
And
she'll say anything to get to second baseball.
Second baseball.
I was actually thinking of a song in my head and it just didn't come out how I wanted it to. And I wanted to say second base, but it came out
baseball.
I'm sorry, guys.
Baseball.
There's more to the song. I'm just not going to say
I'll
it.
take your word for it.
Okay.
But yeah, anyways, so with her you can never tell because a lot of times she is brutally honest, but then she does the thing like we were talking about last week, where she's very vague, like Varys is, where she'll say things that are vague and let people read into whatever they want to hear.
Right.
So
I think she's completely playing her and trying to figure. To what end I don't know.
Which is ironic because they come from the same place. They're both from Lees, so
Right.
it's kind of like is that double talk kind of like something that's just part of the culture there, maybe.
Right, maybe.
But let's see. Next episode is actually not until 2 weeks, June 1st. Yeah. I think it's because of Memorial Day. They're taking the week off.
So
that's I think what's happening. But the Mountain and the Viper. Episode 9 is the week after that. It's the Watchers on the Wall.
Ooh.
And then episode 10 is just called The Children.
wait, episode 9, isn't that the one where every single 9th episode is like a terrible episode?
Episode 9 is usually the crazy shit happens.
Something has happened. Yeah, something big. has happened.
Let's take our bets. Which Night's Watch are gonna die? Let's do it.
Which Night's Watchers?
I gotta stay out.
You can't do it. Let's take our bets.
Well,
who do you think is gonna die?
Obviously I think that what's his name, the guy that doesn't like Jon,
Alistair.
I think
like
Alistair's
that
gonna
one.
die.
The first builder guy, he's gonna die too.
You think so?
Yeah.
The first builder will die.
Yeah, because he didn't listen to Jon Snow.
What do you think about Janos Slint?
Slint?
Mr. I used to head the city guard.
I think he'll
Oh
die.
yeah, Slint.
I think he's gonna die. Yeah, me too.
I don't think Jon is gonna die.
Well, what about the good guys? Do we think that Gren or Pip are in trouble?
Gren might be.
Gren might be in trouble. Sam might be in trouble unless he...
What about Gilly in Molestown? We saw that the Wildlings are coming up in the preview. The Wildlings are attacking Molestown.
Right.
We saw Samwell crying.
I think they're going to recognize her as a wildling and just take her hostage.
Might take the baby hostage, and that'd be bad for Sam. Sam would be torn up by that, I'm sure.
And they could take the baby hostage to give it to the zombie White Walkers.
Ooh. That's true, too.
Because they give him children. And he's the last Craster child.
Yep. Do you think we're going to see some giants and mammoths in that episode 9?
I'm pretty sure they gotta do something big for the end of the season.
Well, you keep in mind, episode 9, that was when Ned Stark was beheaded. Right. And then they also did all the crazy, like, voodoo... The Red Wedding was season 3, Battle of Blackwater was season 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also in season 1, that was when all the crazy voodoo shit happened in the tent with Khal Drogo and Daenerys.
Oh, that was intense. That was an intense part of the book. I finally finished it, by the way. Yeah. The first one.
Hey, congratulations.
I know, after like a year.
But, yeah, so I'm interested, though, in season 10, episode 10 being called The Children. I'm
sure what that's referencing.
I'm racking my brain. I have a couple of ideas, but I don't really know.
Maybe
exactly.
We get to see why babies are sacrificed to the White Walkers.
Maybe, but that didn't happen in the book, so if that's the case, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what happens at the end of the book. Oh, wait. Never mind, I know what happens.
Oh, wait, I just remembered.
I just got it.
I just remembered.
Okay, so, episode 10 is going to be really fucking crazy, too.
Well, the rest of us who are not omniscients, like Todd over here... Fucking
So are we gonna do?
They're right there for you to read, baby.
Are we gonna do an off-week episode and do something big like since it's an off week?
Nah, we're gonna take Memorial Day weekend off too.
We'll take it off.
We're gonna barbecue and drink beer.
That sounds like a plan.
And then we'll be back
2 weeks.
June 1st, June 2nd, probably closer to June 2nd, if I had to be honest, for the episode The Viper versus the Mountain.
The Viper of the Mountain.
That's just gonna be...
I'm just gonna keep watching the trailer for the next 2 weeks. Just keep watching. Go on Tumblr, watch to see if they have more spoiler trailers.
See a guy with a fucking 7-foot long sword fighting a guy with a spear. It's gonna be nuts.
Should be interesting.
I'm so thrilled. I get excited just thinking.
On behalf of Podcast to Do, I'd like to thank you for listening to our Spoilercast.
Yes.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out podcasttodoom.com for the regular podcast.
For all of your Podcast to Doom needs.
Yeah, for all your Podcast to Doom needs.
But wait, there's more.
As always, I'm that guy Todd.
I'm Ferdinand.
And I'm Guest Star Lady B.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
You listen or you die.
Listen or you die.